Good morning, students. Today we are going to start the exercise 5.2 from question number 10, since we have done question number 1 to 9 in the previous session. So let's start with question number 10. Question number 10 is the 17th term of an AP exceeds the 10th term by 7, which means the difference between the 17th term and the 10th term, that is equal to 7. So 17th term is a plus 16d, 10th term is a plus 9d. This is equal to 7. So when we open the bracket, after the negative sign, the sign will be changed. So a is cancelled. 16d minus 9d is 7d, which is equal to 7, or we get d is equals to 1. So this is question number 10, in which we have to find the common difference. So we get the common difference equals to 1. So let's start with the question number 11. Question number 11 is which term of the AP? Now AP is given as 3, 15, 27, 39. The condition is which term of the AP will be 132 more than its 54th term. So according to condition, which term means the nth term, or you can say any term. Which term is 132 more than its 54th term? So this is the condition given to us. According to this, we know an is equals to a plus n minus 1d. This is equals to 132, and the 54 term is a plus 53d. Now since we are having a single AP, so a in both the cases will be same, and that will be cancelled from both the sides. Now according to this AP, we are given d is equals to second term minus first term, that is equals to 12. So we can substitute the value of d on both the sides to get the value of n. So this is n minus 1 into 12. This is 132. Now 53 multiplied by 12. 53 multiplied by 12, that is 106. This is 53. So this is 636. So when we add 132 and 636, we get 768. So we can see if 12 is multiplied by n minus 1. So when we bring 12 to other side, we get n minus 1 is 768 divided by 12. So this is 12 into 6, 72. 12 fours are 48. So we get n minus 1 equal to 64. Bring minus 1 to the side. We get n is equals to 64 plus 1, or that is equals to 65. So this is the question number 11, which means the 65th term is 132 more than its 54th term. So let's go to question number 12. Question number 12 is two APs have the same common difference. The difference between their 100th term is 100. What is the difference between their 1000 term? So question number 12 means we are having two different APs. So let the first AP be A plus B, A plus 2D, and so on. And the second AP will be equals to A, capital A, that is capital A plus B, A plus 2D. Since we are having two different APs, but the common difference is same, so we have to take the same D in both the APs. To make the two different APs, I have taken the first term in different in both the cases. So what is the condition here? The difference between their 100th term. So let the 100 term of this AP be A plus 90 90, and the 100th term of the second AP, that will be equals to A plus 90 90. So this difference is given as 100. So again, when we open the bracket after the negative sign, the sign will be changed. 90 90 is cancelled from both the sides. We get A minus A, that is equals to 100. Just keep it as equation number 1. Now we have to find what will be the difference between the 1000 terms. So what is the 1000 term of this? This is 9990. This is a 1000 term of the first sequence of first AP, and this is the 1000 term of the second AP, and we have to find what is the difference of these two terms. So when we open it, sign will be changed. So clearly 990 is cancelled. So what we are left, A minus A. From equation number 1, we can clearly see what is A minus A equals to 100. So it means the difference between their 1000 term will also be equals to 100. So this is question number 12. So let's go to question number 13. Now question number 13, the statement is, how many 3-digit numbers are divisible by 7? So we know that the 3-digit number starts from 100 and its end in 999, that is 999. But we have to take the sequence of only those numbers which are 3-digit number but they are divisible by 7. So what will be the first number? We know that the first 3-digit number is 100, so we have to divide by 7. So whatever the difference between the divisor and the remainder, which means 7 minus 2 is 5. So we have to add 5 in 100 to get the first term, which is a 3-digit number and is also divisible by 7. So after that we have to add 7 to get the next term. So in this way we will get the 80. Now we know that the last term is 999, which is a 3-digit number, but we have to find that number which is 3-digit also and which is exactly divisible by 7 also. So we have to divide this number by 7. So this is 7 1 is 7, this is 29, 7 4, 28, this is 7 2, 14, it means we are left with 5. So to find the last number, we always subtract the remainder from 999. It means 999 minus 5, we get the 994, which will be the last term of this AP, which is exactly divisible by 7. So this is the AP, we find it. Now we have to find how many terms are there which are exactly divisible by 7. So this is the sequence we are having. According to this sequence, we get A is equals to 105, D is equals to second term minus first term, that is equals to 7, and we are having last term, that is 994. To find the number of terms, it means we have to calculate the n. So apply the formula. An is equals to A plus n minus 1 into D. An is 994, A is 105, and we have to calculate, and D is 7. So first of all, subtract 105, bring this 105 to left hand side. So when we subtract these two numbers, 14 minus 5, that is 9. So 8 and this is 8. Bring this 7 to this side. So we know that whatever term which is multiplied here, it should be divided on this side. So divide 889 by 7, we get 7 into 1, 7. 7 2s are 49 and 7 7s are again 49. So minus 1, just bring minus 1 to this side, we get n is equals to 128. So we get n is equals to 128 here. So it means that there are 128 terms which are 3-digit number also and which are exactly divisible by 7. Okay, beta. So let's start with the next question. That is question number 13. Now sum number 13 is, sum number 14. Sum number 14 is how many multiples of 4 lie between 10 and 250. So we are having the numbers from 10 to 250, but we have to take only those numbers which are exactly divisible by 4. So the first number, so we have to calculate by the same method as we have discussed in question number 13. So first of all, divide 10 by 4, remainder is 2. So take the difference of divisor and the remainder, which is equals to 2, and add this difference to the first number. So it means the first number which is exactly divisible by 4 is 12. After that we have to add 4 to get the successive terms. And how to get the last term? Again we have to divide by 4. So the remainder is 2. So subtract this remainder directly from 250 to get the last term which is exactly divisible by 4. So in this way we get the AP here. Now we have to find how many terms are there which are exactly divisible by 4 from the number 10 to 250. So accordingly we get A is equals to 12. B is equals to second term minus first term, which is equals to 4, and the last term is given as 248. So similarly, A n is equals to A plus n minus 1 into D. Substitute the value, we get A as 12 and D as 4. So similarly, bring 12 to this side. This is 248 minus 12, which is equals to 236. Divide 4 to this side. We get n minus 1. So when we divide 236 by 12, so we get 4 into 5, that is 20, and this is 4 9s are 36. So we get n minus 1. Bring minus 1 to left hand side to get n is equals to 60. So there are 60 terms which are divisible by 4 and which comes under the values 10 and 250. So this is sum number 14. So let's come to question number 15. So what is sum number 15 here? Sum number 15 is for what value of n are the nth term of the AP. The first AP is given as 63, 65, 67 and so on. And the second AP is given as 3, 10, 17 and so on. Now condition is for what value of n the nth term of the first AP must be equals to the nth term of the second AP. It means we have to find the nth term of first AP. Then we have to find the nth term of second AP, and then we have to equate them. So when we equate them, we will get the value of n. This is what the question number 15 is. So first of all, let us take the first AP, 63, 65, 67 and so on. So accordingly we get A is equals to 63, D is equals to 65 minus 63, that is equals to 2. Because we have to find the nth term, so n remains n. So calculate an, we get A plus n minus 1 into D, that is an is equals to 63 plus n minus 1 multiplied by 2. This is 63 plus 2n minus 2, or this is equals to 2n plus 61. So this is the nth term of the first sequence. So let it be equation number 1. Now consider the second AP, that is 3, 10, 17 and so on. So accordingly A is equals to 3, D is equals to 10 minus 3, that is 7. Again we have to take nth term, so n remains n. Apply the formula an is equals to a plus n minus 1 into d. Now you can substitute this value. So we get an is equals to, so what is a here? This is 3. N remains n and the d is equals to 7. So we get an is equals to 3 plus 7n minus 7, or we get an is equals to 7n minus 4. So this is the nth term of the second AP. Now according to question, what is given us, the nth term in first case and the nth term in second case, they are equal. Means 2n plus 61 must be equals to 7n minus 4. Now find the value of n here, bring this 7 into this side and bring this positive 61 to that side. We get minus 5n equals to minus 65. Cancel minus n from both sides, so we get n is equals to 65 by 5, which is equals to 13. So it means in both the APs, the 30th term will be same in both the APs. So this is what the question number 15 is. So let's come to question number 16. Now see what is question number 16 here. Determine the AP whose third term is 16. Means third term is given as 16 and the seventh term exceeds the fifth term. The seventh term exceeds the fifth term by 12. Means the difference between the seventh term and the fifth term, that is given as 12. So let us take third term 16 means a plus 2d, that is given as 16. Let it be equation number 1. Second means 7th term means a plus 60. Fifth term means a plus 4d, which is equals to 12. So similarly, if we open the second bracket, the sign will be changed after negative sign. So a will be cancelled. 6d minus 4d, that is equals to 2d, which is equals to 12, or we get d is equals to 6. Substitute this value of d in equation number 1. So in place of d, I put the value of d in bracket. This is equal to 16. So 2 6 that is 12. This is equal to 16. Bring 12 to this side. We get 16 minus 12. A is equals to 4. Now we get A equals to 4 and D equal to 6. So hence the AP will be equals to, or the AP is, first term is 4, add the common difference to the first term, to get the second term, again add the common difference to second term to get the third term, and so on. So this is the AP according to the given condition. So this is all about question number 16. So let's go to question number 17. Now sum number 17 statement is find the 20th term from the last term of the AP. So what is the AP given to you? That is 3, 8, 13, and the last term is given as 253. Now if we want to find the 20th term from the last term, it means if we have to see the 20th term from the last, it means this 253 becomes the first term because we have to see the numbers from the back. So A becomes 253 here. If the from the starting, if you can see, D is equals to second term minus first term, that is 8 minus 3, that is a positive 5. But if we see from the back, if the numbers are increasing from starting, it means the numbers will be decreasing from the back. So if the difference between the first two terms is 5, so if we take from the back, it becomes minus 5. Because if the term is decreasing from the back, the difference becomes negative. Now we have to find the 20th term from the back. So n is equals to 20. So simply we have to find the 20th term, which is equals to A plus 19D. So A is 253, D is minus 5, this is 253 minus 95. So if I subtract this 95 from 253, so we get 13 minus 5, that is equals to 8. 24 minus 9, that is 15. So answer will be 158 term. It means the 20th term from the back or from the last term, that must be equals to 158. So this is sum number 17. So let's come to question number 18. Now see what is sum number 18. Sum number 18 is the sum of the 4th and 8th term. The sum of the 4th and the 8th term is given as 24. This is the first condition given to you. And the sum of 6th and 10th term. 6th and 10th term, that is given as, this is 44. Now we have to find the first 3 terms of an AP. Now first of all, A4 means A plus 3D. This is A plus 7D, which is equals to 24. So A plus A becomes 2A. 3D plus 7D is 10D. This is equals to 24. So divide by 2, we get A plus 5D is equals to 12. So this is the modified form of equation number 1. Similarly, second one, 6th term means A plus 5D. This is A plus 9D. This is equals to 44. So similarly, we get 2A plus 14D. This is equals to 44. If we divide both sides by 2, we get A plus 7D is equals to 22. Let it be equation number 2. Now we have to solve first and second to get A. So I am writing the first equation here. Simply solve it by elimination. A will be cancelled. We get 2D is equals to 10, or we get D is equals to 5. Substitute the value of d in any of these equations. So let us take the first one, a plus 5d, which is equals to 12. Substitute the value of d. We get a plus 25, this is equals to 12, or a we get 12 minus 25, which is equals to minus 13. So it means we are having a equals to minus 13 and d is equals to 5. So how can we get the three terms of an AP? So first term will be equals to a, which is equals to minus 13. Second term we have to get by adding first term with the common difference. So minus 13 plus 5 becomes minus 8. To get the third term, add the common difference in second term to get the third term of an AP. So these are the three terms of an AP. Okay students, so this is question number 18. So let us come to the question number 19. Now see what is question number 19. So it's a statement sum. Subbarao started work in 1995 at an annual salary of rupees 5,000 and received an increment of rupees 200 each year. In which year did his income reach 7,000? So since Subbarao started his job by an income of rupees 5,000, so it means the starting salary, which means A is equals to 5,000 he got at the beginning. Every year he got the increment of rupees 200, means 200 rupees they are going to add it up in the salary. So it means D become positive 200 and we have to find when the annual salary of Subbarao becomes 7,000. So it means the last term that is given as 7,000 and we have to find in which year his salary becomes 7,000. So it means we have to find n. So an is equals to a plus n minus 1 into d. So this is 7,000, this is 5,000 and we have to calculate. D is given as 200. So bring this 5,000 to this side, we get 2,000 equals to n minus 1 into 200. Bring this 200 to this side. We get 2000 divided by 200 equals to n minus 1, or we get n minus 1 equals to 10. Bring this minus 1 here. So it means n is equals to 11. But the question is, in which year did his annual income reach 7,000? Because he started the job in the year 1995 and his salary becomes 7,000 after 11 years. So if I add 11 years in this, it means in which year his salary becomes 7,000? That is in the year 2006. It means the annual salary of Subbarao becomes 7,000 in the year that is 2006. So this is question number 19 and now we have to start question number 20. Now what is question number 28? So same sum as we have done question number 19. Ramkali saved rupees 5 in the first week of a year. So it means the first saving that is given as rupees 5. And then increased her weekly savings by rupees 1.75. So it means the common difference that is given as rupees 1.75. If in the nth week, so n is remain n, which we have to calculate, her weekly savings becomes 20.75. So it means the last term, that is rupees 20.75, we have to find after how many years his saving becomes 20 rupees 75%. So how we have to find it out here? Apply the formula an is equals to a plus n minus 1 into d. So this is 20.75, a is 5, n we have to calculate, and d is 1.75. Subtract 5 from here, we get 15.75 divided by 1.75 equals to n minus 1. So since we are having two numbers after decimal, so decimal will be cancelled. So we are left 1575 divided by 175, that is equals to n minus 1. Now you can see this is 25 into 7, 25 into 6 and 25 into 3. So 7 into 9, bring this minus 1 to the side, we get n is equals to 10. It means after 10 years, after 10 weeks, his saving becomes rupees 20.75 from rupees 5. So this is all about the exercise 5.2. Next time we will do the next exercise 5.3. So goodbye and thank you.